ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to this game, Sweet Science. I uploaded the first episode yesterday, and this is the second episode. I'm not sure how long the game is, but we'll load up our save file. Okay. Okay, we're supposed to go to the castle and free that weird Dawn Princess, right? Time has come to defeat the darkness. So far, so good. But how do we get to the castle? There's no way up there. We all turn to birds, right? Except for Leon Lionheart, of course. Oh, right. But he's tall and strong and can climb up the mountain for sure. Oh, great. You just fly and I have to walk, and I have to work. Brave night for you, it's a small thing. Mary turned into an owl. See you soon. See you at the castle. A phoenix? Yes, that's Alan's bird form. Alright, I'll turn to a cherry bird too. It's my bird. A crow. I beg your pardon. A crow? Corvus Corone. Why does As give such a pretty bird and I such an ugly black creature? Because you are a witch, and the bird is a crow. Is that to pick out your eyes? Hey, don't argue, at least you can fly up. I have to climb now. And that's what I did. Took quite a while, lots of throwing the die and a few accidents and near falls. Then I made it. Injured, but at least alive to the others. This night tested our patience, such a long wait. After a few more tangles, we finally found our way into the castle. The evil maid should be here somewhere. And there, in the blink of a second, Nightshade appears in the middle of the hall. An old man. Under his body, a force field becomes visible, which he makes vibrate with his magically glowing sword. Oh, I think we should do something about that. May my magic arrow show you the way to Nirvana. What's that? Hold on. Nirvana definition. In Buddhism, a transcendent state in which there is neither suffering, desire, nor sense of self, and the subject is released from the effects of karma and the cycle of death and rebirth. It represents the final goal of Buddhism. An ideal or idyllic state or place. Okay. Die. Sabrina da Vinci retreats to a safe point. These are very important words today. I feel like just like Sabrina da Vinci retreats to a safe position in the second row. Coward! Shouted as the narrating unison. This is a task for noble might. I attack! Unfortunately, no magical attacks can bounce off the opportunity for protective shield like magic is created. No casting. Until magical instrument. This has destroyed my potions, Patty. Is your pet not me? The mage was about to launch an attack when Magnolia's pet dragon fell into his face and distracted him. Its belly trapped it in a magical bauble that slowly sank to the ground. Hey, James! Hey, Jack! I'm on! You beat the mage! Can fight with it! Let's just stab him with the wand. She will go. Attack missiles. Watch it, now it's the power. Beam up, straight down. 20 points of damage. Alan has taken a step towards the line. I'm still reaching for the bow again. Okay, so how much damage by your arrow? I attack again. Here, that's off. I take no one. I attack no one. Missed. Nightshade has not even noticed that you were attacking him. L. So he turns to Arwen again. Another ray strikes her down. 32 points of damage. Oh, you're unconscious. Oh. I'm taking Arwen to safety. I attack. Fortunately, no, you're just too weak. Well, the good news is, Nightshade hasn't even noticed me yet. I know. Thank you. Sabrina da Vinci, do something. First of all, get rid of that magic shield. Destructive arcanes. That's a major spell. You can't do it as well. You can't do it well as a witch. Can you try it anyway? Sabrina da Vinci is not artist. She is an alpha beam counter and sense and probabilities. Oh, wait. I can just do the narrating voice here. Sabrina da Vinci is an artist. She is not a beam counter who thinks in probabilities, but boldly moves forward. What do you say? Totally so. No, life is with those who have nothing else. And now, here's my chase story. I'm at a brave like this, Sabrina Da Vinci. Successful, you saved Sabrina Da Vinci, but get hard yourself. Oh dear, 53 points of damage, plus the one from my mom, and now to me on your feast. Become unconscious. Witch's curse! You're going on out. Isn't any artist in the blood with dice, of course, no problem. The curse takes effect immediately. Magic dissolve into dust too. Good, not magic injury. I can go first then. Sylvia revived, that was good news. Wonderful, that was great teamwork. Let's go look for the princess. We combed through the castle, but first we found a treasure chest. I'll gladly take this treasure. Thought we'd share what we find. As a reward for being saved by me? No way. Sabrina Da Vinci opened the chest. In the end, we shared the gold price pieces and gems. Only Arwen would have none of them. Gold and gems are nothing but empty shells of human vanity. We elves strive for something higher. And anyway, since both can be produced quite easily, it's nothing special. I mean, on Earth maybe it is, but otherwise. Hey, no sci-fi comics in the fancy adventure, Azuki. Sorry. I'm going to search. Finally, we found a dungeon at the very bottom of the castle, and inside, the princess. Pei described her in great detail. Pretty sexy. The others gave me a strange look, as they should. Why did I say that? Shit, I wasn't among men here. Oh man. So, we are here to save you. That took a long time. Why didn't my father come himself? I suppose it was too dangerous for him. Well then I'll just have to make do with those who are here. An elf, a mage, a knight who makes disrespectful remarks, and a witch. What do you mean, be glad of a witch giving you? How dare she speak to me like that? As is proper with dealing with an ungrateful, spoiled brat. I forbid anyone to use a tone, she ought to be quiet. I am quiet when I want to be. Not in my realm, I command her. Metamorphosis animalis buffinidae permanentia? I do not know. Excuse me, what? I said Metamorphosis animalis buffinidae permanentia. You want? Yes, I do. I don't understand anything, so we'd rather die. Patty paled. So we had rather die perfectly, as usual. What was going on here? Princess suddenly began to shrink. And then a big fat toad was sitting in front of us on the stone floor of the dungeon. Turned the princess into a toad? That's right, she deserved it. Life's an eternal cycle of birth and rebirth, in human or animal form. I wanted to say something too, but I just couldn't find the words. What an adventure! Yes, exactly. And thank you for saving me. Oh shit, We talked for quite a while about Nightshade, Dawn and Magnolia's new pet. It was past midnight when we finally went to sleep. Oh, what a day. I had to admit to myself that I hadn't had so much fun in ages. With Marie, Patty, Azuki, and especially with Sylvia. With a smile, I fell asleep dreaming of my exploits as Leon Lionheart. Monday, 27th July, 1992. When I woke up, another sunny summer day was welcoming me. Today we didn't have a class, so I had to see what we would do instead. I dressed and went to breakfast. On my way to breakfast, I was suddenly stopped. Good morning, Enda. Good morning. Can I talk to you for a minute? My first impulse in student days, when a teacher addressed me like that, was to think that I might have done wrong. And somehow, after barely 2 days in this camp, I felt almost like a student again, so I answered very cautiously, well, actually, probably, that's great. You know, I'd like to talk with you about Sylvia. I noticed that you two seem to get along quite well, and she's pretty lonely here. She had a hard time since her mother died last year. Oh, I didn't know that. I don't think Sylvia likes to talk about that. It was a hard time for us. My wife was very ill. If I had pushed for her to go to the doctor sooner, things would have ended differently. So Sylvia blames me for her death because of that. That doesn't make it any easier for me, and of course it doesn't make it any easier for her. I understand. About myself, it's about telling me about my mother's death, but it wasn't easy for my former self. It had been still fresh, just like with Sylvia. Now it has been some years ago. Couldn't tell him that. You lost your mother too, didn't you? And I'm surprised. How did he know? Your father told me on the phone, at the registration. He said that this would be a good opportunity for you to get your mind off things. I didn't know that. I did. I thought only of myself at that time, and was even angry with you for having registered me here. My eyes became moist. It has to be some dust causing this. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have mentioned that. But anyway, about Sylvia. She's pretty much a shut-in and is mostly alone. She doesn't really have any friends either. Which of course is a little bit up to her, but I think you know what I mean. But even though she might be difficult at times, she's actually a nice girl. And I think it would be really good for her if she had friends who cared a little bit about her. So if you could spend some time with her outside of class, that would be great. What a caring father. He even tried to plan friendships for his daughter. Wasn't sure whether to think that was presumptuous or sweet. Thank you very much, Enda. That's great of you. Please don't tell Sylvia about our conversation, otherwise she would be very angry with me. Okay. Great. See you later. I briefly thought about what had just happened. Was I really an official babysitter for Sylvia now? I shook my head and went to breakfast. At breakfast, I met the others. Turned out that, like me, none of them were going to the excursion. Sylvia put on a solid face and announced, I have the picture for you. What do you think? Well, for the t-shirt, what else? Wait, what did that say? What do you think? Oh yeah. Heavens, I work an extra night shift and then you've already forgotten. Oh, I'm sorry. Show me, Sylvia, I'm super excited. Sylvia showed us the painting. We were all very impressed. Thank you very much, that's super nice. Great, then we'll go to town first thing this morning and have the t-shirts printed. Don't you have to ask the others first? Make a list of who wants what size, collect the money and so on? Oh, you're right, I had forgotten. But we can have a t-shirt printed today as a test, then the others can see better how it will look. Great idea, and afterwards we'll go swimming to the lake. Oh boy. Great, out of the water. Are you all coming? Yeah, sure. I have to. We can have ice cream there too. Great, let's do that. At that moment I heard a soft beep, but I don't like what was coming from my cell phone. I don't know what it really was, but I habitually reached for my cell phone and pulled it out and looked to see if I'd received a text message. If you don't know what's an SMS, you're either very young or very old. SMS are short messages that can be sent and received by any cell phone, kind of like social media around the year 2000. Oh yeah, I know what those are. Oh, what do you think? That's not a calculator, is it? Oops, bummer. Murray just had too good of an observation skill. Was that my battery radio? Maybe not. What is it then? It's a calculator. It looks a bit funny, but never mind. The battery just ran out, unfortunately. Put the phone back in my pocket. Mary looked at me briefly with narrow eyes, but said nothing. Sometimes I had a strange creepy feeling about her, as if she knew everything about me. Well, she's a mathematician, genius. Fortunately, Patty interrupted the short silence right away. Since when are you interested in calculators, Marie? You do most of the calculations in your head, anyway. Yes, maybe. I mean, mathematicians don't usually do mental arithmetic, but you're a real genius at it. Not really. Don't you remember the mental arithmetic competition at that physics seminar we went to? Where they set up extra difficult problems for you at the end to find out at least one that you couldn't solve? Patty, I'm embarrassed. Come on, Marie, I just thought it was totally awesome. Sounds like Marie can do anything. She can. She's doing great at chemistry and biology. And, biology. And how many competitions have you already run? One, Marie. Well, a few. Look at her face. I would rather say that you have won almost every competition. I smiled. Marie was cute and she got embarrassed by the praise. Therefore, I added one more. So, in a way, the Michael Schumacher of science, right? Huh? What do you mean? I was tired early in the morning, therefore I still didn't realize my mistake. Well, Michael Schumacher, the genius racing driver who always wins Formula 1. Looking at the perplexed faces of the others, it dawned on me. Wait, when had he started his winning streak? That was, oh dear, around 1993, so about a year. Tried to patch it up while my head was spinning. What did I get this one mixed up? Maybe it was bike racing or horseback riding. Oh, I'm not good at that. You really are absent-minded as I am sometimes. Great. So Murray always does everything right, and with Ender it's the other way around. Well, even took as fast as a race car, if only your thinking would follow. Okay, phew. Everyone thought I was an idiot now, but I could tell from their jokes that they had no idea of the truth. Reassuring. Really didn't want to let them know that I came from the future. We then talked about this and that. Finally, we agreed to meet in an hour. Marie finished breakfast first. I'm going to read something. But don't forget the time while reading, otherwise we'll come and get you. Oh, I'll be careful this time, I promise. Why, has this happened before? Mary and Patty looked at each other. Once? More like 100 times. Hey. But enough time to pack your swimming things too, okay? Oh boy. Well, I may lose track of time sometimes when I read, but who forgot her swimsuit last time we went swimming? Oh boy. Oh, that's right, sorry. Oh boy. See you later. Then the others said their goodbyes too. So there was still some time before we were going to leave. What did I do until then? And like me, I should check my cell phone too. Oh look, I have my own message. Oh, that's funny. Okay. What did I do until then? I shouldn't go to Mary's room, because she's probably reading. I shouldn't go to the library. Search for Penny. I shouldn't go to Sylvia's studio. I shouldn't go back to my room. I'll search for Patty. I found Patty's room, but she wasn't there. Another girl told me that she had gone to the lab. Oh god, she's probably blowing things up. When I got there, Patty was at our lab table, scribbling on her notepad. Oh, you're in the lab today? Yes, I just wanted to take a quick measurement and then calculate something. Look here. And then Patty explained to me that what she had just wanted to calculate, something about general relativity. Unfortunately, I didn't understand anything about it. All the sciencey words and stuff, I can't understand them. Then she asked me abruptly, What do you think? Is the tensor calculation correct? Thank you, that's sweet of you. Let's go! At some point I stopped her. I'm sorry, but the others are waiting. Ah, so late already? She grabbed her bag and we went to the meeting place. When we left the building, a cat was passing by. So cute. Ooh woo. Patty stroked the cat. Yes, quite. What's your name, little kitty? She called him Schrodinger. No. Well, I actually like all animals, especially when they're as cute as this one. Eventually, Patty said goodbye to the cat. The others were already waiting for us. Finally, it was time to go. After a long walk, we saw the city below us. It was quiet at this time of day, and we strolled through the alleys between the half-timbered houses full of flowers. Okay, I'll go to the print store now. In the meantime, you can have some ice cream here. I'll meet you there. We each bought an ice cream and sat down in the park by the lake. I looked at Sylvia. It was rare to see her smile, and when I saw that, I suddenly felt immensely happy. What's the matter? You're grinning like a Playmobil man all of a sudden. Playmobil man? Nothing, I'm just happy. Finally, Patty came back from the print store and had bought an ice cream as well. She sat down with us. And successful? Yes, indeed, look here. Patty showed us the t-shirt. Science Camp Silver Sea 1992. Looks nice. Wow, looks great. It's okay though, but the print quality is not really appropriate for my work. Well, for the current technological standard of the Earth, it's perfectly fine. Patty tucked the t-shirt away neatly. Yes, the best thing, we can order more of them by phone. They gave me their number. As soon as we know how many t-shirts of each size we need, we'll simply call them. But where can we make a phone call? There's no phone booth at the castle, is there? There is a payphone next to the cafeteria. Oh, great, and I'll take care of collecting the orders in the morning tonight. Phew, that was actually all quite complicated, so without internet and cell phone, I thought. We then walked further along the shore and looked for a place on the beach. This is perfect. A shady spot around the water, and there are even changing rooms over here. Oh, I'm a bit scared. I'm a little scared about what's about to happen. Changing rooms, The girls went to change. I already had my swim trunks on and was waiting for them. Oh boy. This is gonna be bad. This is gonna be scary. Okay, it's not too bad. I'm going swimming. Okay, bye. Before I could say anything, Mary was in the water. I guess she had suddenly become shy again for whatever reason. Oh my god. So I'm ready. Where's Marie? She's already in the water. Oh dear. Let's see her for a while, then once she's in, she won't come back so quickly. Oh boy. Oh my god. I don't think I want to read these these lines. I got it in Japan. You did? Oh, I love one of those. What the heck? You're not giving me any options. They're both bad. Fine, I guess I'll do this one. Oh, you think so? I was suddenly embarrassed, which I knew his name before. That's when Sylvia came over. Oh boy. What? Everything I say is gonna have a red result. What should I do? You think so? Thank you. Sylvia cleared her throat. So of course I look great, that's what it always is, idiot. And also, leave me out of your male fantasies. And, what kind of strange clothes are you wearing, Nazuki? It's special, just my swimsuit from Japan. Fetched weird cat ears, and both together would be perfect for the Cologne Carnival. That was already a few months ago. Yes, that's true, but I still like to wear it. You know, outside the Earth, cat ears are totally in fashion with girls right now, and I begged my mum until she got me some. Azuki, why do you have to follow every alien trend? Of course, aliens don't wear cat ears, at least not that I'm aware of. Except the cat aliens on Venus, of course. Now you're kidding, Patty. Yep, definitely. Anyway, and where's Marie? Hasn't the little one changed yet? Yes, she was the first and is already in the water. I looked at the lake and saw her swimming quite far out at an impressive speed. I hadn't expected that Marie could do that. I kind of feathered she'd never wait for us. She prefers to swim alone. Well, then we adults are at least among us. Among us? Okay, enough talking, let's go to the lake. It's so hot today. Whatever. All the way out here. And so, we followed Marie and went into the water. The lake didn't have a sandy beach, but the pebbles at the bottom were round and pleasant, and the water was crystal clear. The girls were staying on the shore, except for Marie, of course, but I ventured a little further out into the lake. The water was refreshing, but not too cold. Finally, we had enough for now and went back to shore. See, you swim really well, Marie. Thank you. Yes, especially for your age. How old is she? 18? 17? I don't know. Well, I think she could swim even faster than you with ease, Sylvia. But you wouldn't expect a baby to do this. Good change. Mary looked a little intimidated when she left. Uh-oh. Patty looked really angry all of a sudden. You... Fighter 1, Scary Sylvia versus Fighter 2, Perry. So it began, the epic battle of the Titans. Why do you tease Mary again, Sylvia? Why do you have to play Mary's mom again? This is the funniest thing I've ever done, because you're making fun of Marie. Oh, look at Marie, she can't take it when Sylvia makes a joke. Stop calling Marie little. Well, I thought physicists would want to precise measurements in Mary's. Guess what? Little. This is funny, this is hilarious. Oh, your cynicism is really the worst. How do you try to be nicer for once? Dear, I'll try to be nicer and you try not to play Mary's mommy anymore. I'm playing a mom, but you keep trying to hurt her and I'm not going to let that happen or else. Oh, now I get scared when Patty mommy threatens me. I said, stop it, this is my last warning. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Blowing up your next physics experiment? Patty didn't reach for Sylvia, but she dodged amazingly skillfully. When I catch you. But you won't, because nerds like you can't run. I tried to stop them somehow, but they just ignored me completely. I also watched them helplessly as they chased each other in circles. Patty was getting angrier and angrier while Sylvia was laughing at her. Finally, Sylvia ran onto a pier and Patty followed her. Murray just came out of the locker room and looked at the two of them in utter surprise. Hey, baby, look, your mommy is mad at me. Leave Marie alone. Suddenly, Patty jumped at Sylvia and kicked her into the lake with a short kick. Splash. Game over. Azuki, Mary, and I looked at each other in dismay. Dripping wet and super angry, Sylvia came out of the lake. What the hell was that Patty thinking? I was about to answer Sylvia when she touched her neck and let out a sharp scream. My locket! What locket? My brother's locket. I must have lost it when it fell into the water. I put it under my bathing suit so that it would be safe. I'll never forgive Patty for that. Never. Before I could say anything, Sylvia ran away. What's going on? Sylvia just lost her mother's locket in the water. Oh dear, from her mother of all people. You know her father told me that Sylvia's mother died recently. We all... Did he tell all of us? My god, I'm sorry to go there. I'll go find it right away. I thought about it for a moment. The water was at least 2 or 3 meters deep. It was impossible to find a small necklace that might be lying somewhere on the bottom. Wait, Patty, there's no point. I don't care. Patty ran to the pier and jumped into the water. Then she dove under and started searching for the locket. I'll change again how Patty searched, even though it's hopeless. Meanwhile, Azuki and I searched on the shore. Maybe Sylvia had lost the necklace there. But it was in vain. After a while, Patty came out of the water and wanted to rush past us without a word. I stopped her. Where are you going? To look for the necklace. It was in the lake. Then why are you running away? Patty didn't answer and disappeared before we could even think of following her. Then Murray came back from the locker room. Oh, what's the matter? Where did Patty go? Patty ran away all of a sudden. I don't know where she went. Strange. We decided that we would go back to the castle because we didn't really feel like bathing anymore. At the castle, Patty wasn't in her room or in the park or in the library. Finally was time for dinner. Where is Patty? No, I haven't seen her since. We began to worry about her. Sylvia didn't say a word to us, and the rest of us didn't really know what to say either, so we ate silently. We were almost finished when suddenly the door opened. Patty came running in with wet hair and a strange device in one hand. In the hand she held a golden necklace with a locket. Here, Sylvia. I'm really sorry. You found it? How'd you manage to do that? I had some equipment in the lab, my old radio and calculator and stuff. I'm in the middle to take her out of it. You what? Yes, it's one of those tricks. You set the radio to a high shortwave frequency. The display on the calculator generates a signal in the spectrum, which the radio detects and hums evenly. If there is a metal nearby, the reception is slightly disturbed and you hear a change in the hum. I had built something like this before. The difficult part was only to put the whole thing into a waterproof container in such a way that I could still hear the hum. That took me the whole afternoon, then I used it to search the bottom of the lake. After 2 cans, 4 coins, and an old nail, I finally found the locket. You did all this just because of me? I'm going to let you lose your memory of your mother just because I lost control. Thank you, Patty, I'm sorry I was so mean. It's okay, I shouldn't have overreacted like that either. Well, I know I'm not the easiest person to be around sometimes. Sylvia, we all make mistakes. Nobody expects us to live a perfect life. It's just important to learn from your mistakes. So please, do that and get along in the future, will you? Patty and Sylvia nodded at Marie in surprise, then they both nodded. Oh, that's sweet, like the famous Great Peace Treaty of the Ancients with the aliens of the Andromeda Galaxy. But that was 300 million Earth years ago, and this is something I can witness live. We looked at each other briefly and then laughed. And now I urgently have to eat something. I'm starving after all this work. After dinner we played a card game on a lawn in the park. It was the most peaceful evening since I arrived at Silversea Castle. When I went to bed I thought about the day's events. I was happy that Patty and Sylvia were getting along again. In all this, I had almost forgotten that I actually wanted to find a way back to my time. I hadn't even made the slightest bit of progress with that, and my thoughts wander. Maybe it was providence that I had been brought back to my past. Maybe I was supposed to live my past better than I had. Like Groundhog Day. In the 1993 movie Groundhog Day, the main character played by Bill Murray experiences the same day over and over again, until he becomes a different, better person. But maybe that thought was nonsense. After all, the strange lady said it had all been an accident. I would find out sooner or later. And until then, I enjoyed the carefree time here. With a smile on my lips, I fell asleep. 28th July 1992. In the morning I had a terrible nightmare. A big, black, hairy monster tried to crush me like a cat. His hot breath made me sweat. Full of panic I opened my eyes and stared at the cat from yesterday, which had made himself comfortable on my face. Startled, I shook him off. And the cat, equally startled, jumped away through the open window. Ew, what a wake-up! How on earth did it get into my room? Well, cats could climb, and the old building had lots of ledges and balconies. Anyway, I shook off the memory of the nightmare. Today was class, no leisurely dawdling away the summer day like yesterday. Nevertheless, I got up full of anticipation for today and prepared for breakfast. What was I actually looking forward to? I wasn't sure, but I didn't care. Happily whistling a song, I ran down the stairs to the cafeteria. At breakfast, I met the girls. Sylvia was apparently giving the others a detailed lesson on the history of Silversea Castle. So, they know that Silversea Castle must be at least 900 years old. Nevertheless, the oldest walls found are from the late Middle Ages. When was that? You could tell Patty didn't quite follow. About 1350 to 500. I mean 1350 to 1500. Actually, you're supposed to know that from school. So, I can't remember numbers that well. You really don't know physics or nothing else, do you? Anyway, where was I? The Middle Ages. Oh yes, so little is known about the early times of the castle, not from historical documents, certainly not from any archaeological findings. Did your family actually own such a castle in the past? I don't know. I know that my ancestors were barons. I'm the last descendant of our family, and my grandparents died too early, so I know very little about our family history. But your knowledge of history is impressive, Sylvia. You could also study this at university. Thank you very much, but I'll stick to art, although I might still consider art history. I took the chance to cut short Sylvia's history lecture. For Patty and you, Marie, it's probably clear what you want to study, right? Physics, of course. I'm going to be a famous physicist later. I grinned. Pretty confident. Well, I mean, at least I'll try. You're right, I'll study mathematics. I'm already taking a few correspondence courses at the university in my spare time. You're doing what? That was no big deal. You can enroll, and then you can take some assignments into you. At the end of the semester, you can take one of the exams to get your certificate. So far, I've only managed to get the certificates from the first semester, but I still have to go to school. Mary said all this as if it were nothing, but this little girl had just explained to me that she had already successfully completed the first semester of her university studies. With that in mathematics, it had to be more difficult. What do you want to study, Azuki? Astronomy? I don't know yet if I'll study at all. What? Maybe I'll go away, far away, if I may, to the stars. Zoe rolled her eyes. Just for the record, they usually say that artists are the biggest daydreamers. That's officially disproved now. And what do you want to do later, Endo? Oops, that question caught me off guard. I think I'm going to study law. Law? That's interesting. Why? Because lawyers can earn a lot of money, I think, or something. At least that was the reason why I started studying law. I wasn't interested in the subject at all. My father had suggested something to do with technology, engineering, or something like that. Of course, as a craftsman, that was the closest thing to his heart. It's also clear that I didn't want to do it for that very reason. It took me a while to realise that studying law with its vast amounts of material that had to be learned by heart was not for me. And then there were the expensive revision courses that I couldn't afford. In Germany, law students attend expensive courses offered by private companies to learn the material for the exams. Without them, it is very difficult to get a degree. Oh wait, hold on. Oh yeah, you really think so? I read that the job prospects for lawyers are not good at all at the moment. Yes, Maria's right, of course. Why did she know about it better than I did at the time? Maybe if I had talked to her back then, I would have studied something else, something that suited me better. Well, maybe you're right. So it interests you, then of course I understand. I'm sure law is fascinating too. The way Marie said it didn't even sound like mere politeness. Probably could find even law really interesting. Maybe someone like Marie could find something very interesting. Find anything interesting, and I nothing. But I'm not sure about that either. Maybe I'll study something completely different. Great, now let's find the right field of study for Endo and his suggestions. The others laughed and bombarded me with ideas for my studies. First, of course, mathematics, physics, art, but then more and more exotic ones. You should try to become an astronaut, computer game programming, marine biologist, brewing. I've heard somewhere in America you can even study ice cream making. How about that? Unicorn breeding, advanced procrastination techniques, time travel theory. Hey, that's what I wanted to study then. It's just something else, Ringo. Okay, survival techniques for the zombie apocalypse. Well, Endo doesn't need to study that. Zombies eat brains, so he has nothing to worry about. Oh! I just got roasted, bro. Damn. Hey! Everyone laughed. And it was time for our classes. On the way through the park, a squirrel just darted by. Do you see that, Penny? What? There's a squirrel. Totally cute. Oh no, I've missed it. I've just been in thought. Never mind, I'm pretty sure you'll see another one. There must be quite a few here in the park. We reached the classrooms and went to our classes. Sup, Mr. Young? So, on with our classes. Mr. Young seemed to be bursting with energy. Not a good sign. Today we're going to cover path integrals and quantum field theory. Let's start simple. Why can we actually assume that light travels in straight lines around an obstacle, as we did in the last lecture? It could do with some looping, after all. There would be nothing wrong with that. How is light supposed to know in advance where the straight path is? It's not a conscious being that can avoid an obstacle with foresight. The reason for this is simple. Light indeed runs on all paths from L to B, no matter if they are winding and long, like S, or the shortest way, R. Why don't we notice any of this? Well, that is because we have to add up the wave functions of light for all paths. Such a calculation is called a path integral. Now, if for a path there is also another one that is a little shorter, now the path S here, then the different phases of the light waves can cancel each other out. As a result, the wave function is practically zero. But if there is no shorter path left, then this cannot happen. And then the path integral gives a value different from zero. In reality, of course, it's all a bit more complicated than that. I do admit that this sounded a bit wacky. Light wasn't following a straight line, but was travelling in all directions at once, made loops and pirouettes. In the end, you didn't notice any of it, because the vast majority of light paths simply cancel each other out. Sound like someone had smoked too much. By the way, this whole idea goes back to Richard Feynman, who then used it to develop quantum field theory. And that's why I'm going to explain it to you all, and to again in all its mathematical details. And from the rest of the lesson I didn't understand a word. Patty, on the other hand, rode along diligently, her face reddened with concentration. Admirable. Oh, it's time for lunch. I hope you have understood enough. He was obviously looking at Patty, who was putting the last sentence down on paper. So a few points are still not clear to me. And then she asked questions that I didn't understand a word of, and Mr. Young answered vividly. At some point, the first students cleared their throats, signalizing that it was already time for lunch now. Oh, I forgot. You can leave for lunch now, of course. This afternoon we have project work. Patty also dragged herself away. Her hunger for knowledge had been satisfied, and now it was time for the other hunger, the one of the stomach. At that time, "Fire!" shouts rang from outside. "Ah, these kids again. Let's go all go outside, shall we?" Inside the classroom this time, everything was full of pink smoke. Max and Moritz just ran past us. Mr. Meitner came after them. "Those naughty boys. Thought you didn't let the students do experiments today." "I didn't. I did everything myself. But the rascals apparently mixed up the labels of the chemical jars, and so my experiment suddenly produced lots of pink smoke." I coughed a little and masked my laughter. "But enough is enough. We'll take revenge, and I already know how." "How?" "That's my secret." With that, Mr. Meitner left us standing. "Wow, what a cool lecture, don't you think?" If you say so." "Or was that a little too difficult for you, Enda?" "Well, I had the feeling that maybe some parts were not completely incomprehensible for me, although I'm not sure about this." "Okay, I admit that it was quite heavy, and I was lucky I had already read a little bit about this before. But now I'm hungry enough to devour 100 path integrals." I laughed, and we headed for the cafeteria. We all met again at lunch. Patty pointed to a boy at the next table with a grin. "Well, that t-shirt isn't that fashionable anymore." "What do you mean?" "Look closer." Oh yes, the boy was wearing a t-shirt in the style of the German soccer team. Additional information for American players or New Zealand players. No, oh no, there will be American players because I consider it to be soccer as well. American players. Soccer is the strange game where players are running after a ball and kicking it the whole time. It's a game that every country in the world outside America is going crazy about, and nobody quite knows why. Well, perhaps that disgraceful 0-2 defeat in the final. Why disgraceful? Losing to Brazil in the final is not embarrassing. Why Brazil? I could have realized my mistake at this point, but the images of the 22 World Cup final in Japan were still so present in my mind. The German team had surprisingly managed to enter the final and then got defeated by Ronaldo's 2 goals. The World Cup runner-up title was still something to celebrate after the terrible European Championship 2000. What do you mean? Who else did they lose to at the World Cup final? World Cup final? I don't know which World Cup you're talking about, but I'm talking about the European Championship in soccer. Or did you just make up the sport again? So friend of the soccer Philistine, briefly summarized, Germany loses in the European Championship final against Denmark 2-0. More embarrassment is not possible. Ah, it feels great that I can explain something about soccer to a man. Sport is not really your thing, Ender, is it? No, actually it's not. I don't like soccer. Of course, Pay's explanations brought it all back to me. Back in 1992, when the world champion Germany lost to Denmark in the final. That was a sensation and an embarrassment. Well, 8 years later, everyone would have been happy if Germany had at least made it to the European Championship semi-finals. So I played the idiot again to wriggle out of it. Oh, sorry, I must have got that completely mixed up somehow. Really quite a bonehead. You already know that. You seem to dream even more than I dare Asuki. Oh, what's up? Everyone laughed. Phew, that went well. Time flew by, and soon it was time for our classes again. Pei and I went to the lab to continue working on our project. Yesterday was so busy, I didn't even think about our project. So what? Yesterday was a day off, right? Why a day off? Working here in the lab is also spare time. Everything that isn't learning vocabulary is spare time. Anyway, we had this strange effect, as if the space in the device was bent. Right, probably an optical illusion, isn't it? I'm thinking about it, and we can test that. How? The cube is about 40 centimeters tall. Here I have a folding ruler that is 1 meter long. Patty gave it to me and then pointed to the cube. Now I'll put it in there. But it's much too big. I don't know. Is there innuendo going on here? Don't be afraid, just try it out. I carefully put the long thing in centimeter for centimeter. I feel like this is that's totally innuendo. What's that? I can't believe it's the long thing in. Patty held her breath as she watched it gradually disappear inside. I'm scared. Oh. Deeper? Oh my, yes, deeper. Oh my god! Dude, this is oh my god! Yes, deeper. Oh my god. There, now it's all the way in. What the fuck? Oh my god. And pull it out again carefully. I pulled it out carefully. The rod? Look just as much before. What is this shit, bro? What is this shit? Then I put it back in a little faster this time. Hey, calm down, bro. Calm down, hey. As I did so, it's getting warmer. Feels a bit hot. It really fit all the way in. Patty was so excited that she gasped, "Hey yo, calm down. This is amazing." What? That was the creepiest laughter I've ever heard. What the hell? Suddenly we noticed Sylvia, who just let out a loud snort. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Now it's not even innuendo anymore. It's just straight up. I'm not reading that. Oh, fine. No, I'm not reading that. I'm not reading that. This is hilarious. I thought for a moment about what Patty and I just said and turned deep. Oh my god. Oh god. This game is only 12 plus. I'm sure I don't think I've played an R12 game this crazy before. But okay. Patty was even redder than me. Sylvia! Sorry, but you should have heard yourselves. Don't be jealous. Oh, what do you mean? Oh, just because Sylvia struggled for words and finally managed only a grumpy idiot. Anyway, what are you doing here, Sylvia? Oh, I just wanted to see what you were doing. I didn't know you were doing something like that. Hey! Anyway, I'm going to look for Oski. I've already been to Marie's, but it was more boring than with you. Ciao. Sylvia. I had to grin when I saw Patty's upset face. Come on, let's keep working. Okay, you're right. That was the funniest thing I've ever read, dude. And it got so much that I just couldn't even read it. Think about deeper. Alright, wait, hold on, I just missed that. Patty put the folding rule into the cube again herself. So this strange device actually seems to be in space. I need to know more about it. Tell me, in the manual you read to me, it said how to assemble it to control the cube, didn't it? Yeah, at least. That's how I understood the cryptic stuff. I'd love to do that, but it's really hard because you have to translate every sentence for me. You know, my English. I sighed. Patty couldn't even understand the simplest instructions in English. So, I thought I'll do some measurements with the cube, and you could maybe assemble the controller for me. Alright, I'll try. Thank you, you are a treasure. It wasn't easy, I realized. The control had a very strange shape. Tetrahedron. A tetrahedron is a kind of four-sided cube, something like a pyramid but with a triangle as a base instead of a square. On two sides were sockets into which cables were plugged. The manual said you had to set the circuits on three sides of the tetrahedron so that the two sockets were connected. I picked up the tetrahedron and looked at its first side. There was one of the sockets that was glowing yellow, so this was where I had to start. I sighed. This looked like work, but at least more exciting than my job at the law firm. Click on the blue squares to adjust them to close the correct connections. Click on the arrows to rotate the tetrahedron and adjust all sides. Click on OK when you are done and want to give up. That's connected, yes. This one looks a bit difficult. This is definitely the hardest one. There we go. But everything's done. I turned it on. My soft clicker began to glow. Okay, now that was anticlimactic, but at least I had solved the task. Wait, you got this thing working, awesome! Now we can control the curvature of space, how cool is that? I have to do some more experiments now. I had to keep me on my toes for the experiments. I need a break. Oh, me too. Patty pulled a long bag out of her backpack, pulled a bag out of her backpack and emptied it on the table. Lots of candy. Yeah, help yourself. Thanks. Took the chocolate bar. Meanwhile, Patty was greedily munching on some candy. You always eat so much candy. Only when I'm doing research, when I'm using my brain, I just need sugar. I wondered if that was really a healthy diet, but hey, Patty was so full of energy, she probably needed more replenishment than normal people. So, was that enough of a break? Not really. Oh, it wasn't? Well, no problem. I have to calculate some path integrals anyway to understand what's going on in the machine. That won't be easy, but it also curves the space. But maybe if I make the metric variable... Patty didn't seem to need me anymore, and so I went outside to enjoy some sun and fresh air. 5 minutes in the castle's park and this gorgeous summer weather were enough to recharge my batteries. There was still some time before dinner, and I was wondering what I should do. Should I... I heard from Sylvia's studio, but it was empty. Finally I found her on the hill above the castle. You seem to follow me everywhere, like a dog. Dogs are faithful, aren't they? Sylvia rolled her eyes. I make the sketches now. Yes, of course. You never get enough of painting the castle, can you? There are so many interesting perspectives here. Fortunately, the weather is a bit boring. Always blue skies and sunshine. But that way it's pleasant to be outside, isn't it? Okay, fair point. I sat down in the grass and watched Sylvia drawing. You really don't know anything about your family history? Practically nothing. My mother was a baroness. Is that actually a high noble rank? I don't know anything about it. No, but it is a noble rank. And aren't there any family trees or something that you can look up? Fortunately not. I've already spent quite some time researching. There are a few mentions about my ancestors. For example, the almanac. What is that? Those are books that are used to list nobles. There I once found a report about the marriage of Baron Tensberg. Probably my great-grandfather. That's all. And from which region does your family originate? I don't know. Probably there was an ancestral castle there sometime long ago, which belonged to my family. There used to be a lot of castles in Europe, but most of them were very small. Oops, I suddenly zoomed out of the game. In Germany alone, there were more than 20,000. Today most of them are gone, not even ruins are left of them. I don't know, but there is just so little connecting me to the past. That's why my name is so important to me, just as it was important to my mother. I understand. And it makes me happy. I mean, just because they're not that you're special or anything. I smiled at Sylvia's embarrassment. Anyway, enough for today. I have to concentrate now, or I won't get the sketch done by dinner. Sylvia became engrossed in her work again, and I watched her. Eventually, it was time for dinner. Sylvia packed up, and we descended to the castle. Dinner, we all met again. Patty reported euphorically about our discovery during dinner. At some point, it became too much for Sylvia. Yes, I heard about exciting things you did there. Oh my god. She heard about the exciting things we did there. Oh my god. She imitated Patty's voice. Oh my god. Oh. I'm dying. I'm dead. I've died. Deeper, yes! Sorry, I had to do it. Eh? What do you mean? Well, Hannah and Patty already understand what I mean. And to you, Marie, I'm not allowed to explain it yet. You're too young for that. Oh my god! I'm in pain. I am in pain. Oh, so you're just making a suggestive joke by taking a dialogue out of context so that it gave the appearance of a sexually connoted innuendo? No, we never said deeper, yes. That was just like, I don't think, yeah, We looked at each other, puzzled. Yes, there are studies that show that this sort of thing is a common way to increase social prestige in groups, especially during adolescence. It also happens with adults, however, it is often viewed negatively by people of higher educational backgrounds. Mary may have been the youngest, but she sounded like a sociology professor reflecting on the topic of lewd jokes on a meta level. Sylvia was speechless, and that was really something rare with her. Mary, you are truly great. With you I always feel like a person communicating with an ancient, very small and ignorant. Whatever that should mean now again. But do we want to land on Earth again? But please, very gently, without crash. Right, crash, we had already enough in last week's, on the stock market. I grinned. Marie was right, the dot-com bubble had burst and prices had plummeted. In 1999 to 2001, investors around the world were euphoric. The internet was going to change the world and the economic opportunities were enormous. Internet companies were being created like crazy and investors were buying everything they could. At some point, however, it turned out that much of it were just castles in the air. A long crash followed. Good thing I hadn't had any money to invest. You're right, where's the DAX now? At 4,000 points only, right? 4,000 points, you sure? Yes, of course, it was on the news. After the peak at over 8,000 points, the shares are only half of as much. I have no idea about these things. Actually, I thought the DAX was now at 1,600 points, after it was at 1,800 before the crash. Then I suddenly realised my mistake. May have been talking about a different crash. 1992, that's when the stocks must have crashed too, but I no longer remembered it. At that time I wasn't interested. In 1992, there was a small crash in the German stock market caused by concerns about economic development. Obviously, stocks were not a good investment. They seemed to crash all the time. On the other hand, if they had risen from 1,600 points to 4,000 points in just 10 years despite the crash, that was actually a really good profit. Most researchers conclude stocks are a good investment in the long term as long as you don't buy individual stocks, but invest as broadly as possible, preferably in a large index. Why does everyone always talk about the crashes? Maybe I should buy shares sometime. Marie suddenly pulled me out of my thoughts. Why do you think the DAX is at 4,000 points, Ender? I felt uncomfortably hot under Marie's penetrating gaze. I don't know, I must have mixed it up with another index. That could be, yes. I'm having trouble there too, but we don't need stocks anyway. My parents always say that money is not that important. Rich people always say that. Oh, we're not rich, we just always have enough money. And that's what rich people always say too. I grinned. If you have more than enough money, you can donate it. So as long as there are people who are really poor, there is never enough money. And there we were in a discussion of money in the world. I was glad that my DAX mistake was forgotten so quickly. At some point Marie looked at her watch. We also have to get to the Go class. Oh, yes, right. I hadn't even thought about participating yet. So I'm in. And you? Everyone wanted to join. Have you ever played Go? I want to learn the rules, but then had no opponent. Well, surely you can play with that in the I wanted to say internet, but I stopped myself just in time. I mean, surely you can play in a club or something. Maybe. I've never played this before. I'll definitely need to try that out. I just hope I have enough patience to do it. I'll try my hardest. Sitting still wasn't really her thing. I've never played it either, but I've heard that noble ladies in China and Japan had to master the game as part of etiquette. So of course I want to learn it too. Great, then you're all in. I'm so excited that you're learning about the sacred game too. Sacred game? Well, you see, there's an ancient alien civilization that believes that only beings who discover the game of Go are intelligent enough to count as a civilization. Therefore the game is sacred to them. Oh, Hesley, Go is a sacred game of aliens who are really almost as crazy as I am. We all laughed, then we hurried to finish eating so we could go to Go. The class was going to be in the park. After all, it was still bright enough on this summer evening. Why does she look kind of creepy? There were no thoughts behind those eyes. When we arrived, there were already some students sitting on the grass with a few Go boards between them. Welcome to Go. Today I will introduce you to nothing less than the most brilliant game in the universe. Famous young tended to exaggerate, but this was really too much. The rules of the game are simple and mathematically elegant, but the game itself is one of the most complex in the world. In a few years, chess world champions will be beaten by computers. With Go, that will take much longer. To play Go well, a computer must be intelligent, in a sense. Developing a Go program that beats a human world champion will be a milestone in AI. The chess world champion Kasparov was defeated by the IBM program Deep Blue as early as 1997, although the program actually only calculated many moves in advance and evaluated the final positions. Without any real AI, in the case of Go, that's still until 2016, when Google researchers achieved a scientific breakthrough in AI. They'll even make a movie out of it, and will trigger a development that, so that's what I think at least. Anyway, how does Go go? Well, I'll show you. The first question, who of you already knows the rules to Go? Mariansky and a few others came forward. Mr. Young then explained the rules of Go. Did a good job, but of course it was a bit boring for me. Then it was time for a game. I thought about whom I wanted to play with. Alright, you get black, I want white, it's classier. Fine with me, but I'll give you a few handicap stones anyway, okay? Sylvia pretended not to hear that, but made no effort to stop me. Phew, white stones didn't look right, but the main thing was that Sylvia was satisfied. I must solve the task. Whites, go. I don't even know how to play. She's good at this game. Whoa. You're kidding me. She can place one here. I have no idea how to play this game. I'm just clicking random places. I don't even know where I can place these things. I think I might just be a little bit stupid. Is there still somewhere I can place this? Don't think there is. I expected to stand a chance of my superior intellect. Yeah, I don't even know how to play, so... Yes, master. Yes, I acknowledge my superiority and will get along just fine. Head to grin. What is there to grin about? Why, you lost, didn't you? But it's fun talking to you. What do you mean? So we mumbled something unintelligible and her face became redder and redder. Finally she pulled herself together. Idiot. Baka. I'm gonna sleep. Good night, Sylvia. Right, nice. Now I'm tired to a chance. Good night. Before I could say anything, Sylvia had disappeared. Of course the others for a while, and then I too left. When I finally got to my room, I was dead tired. In my sleep, I placed black and white Go pieces on infinitely large Go boards. Wednesday 29, July 1992. When I woke up, the sun was shining brightly into my room. By this time of the year, it always did so very early in the morning, so I just turned away and closed my eyes once more. A mistake. I fell asleep again, and when I looked at the clock, I was startled. Heavens, it was much too late for breakfast. Quickly put on something fresh and ran down to the classroom. As I ran past the cafeteria, I almost bumped into Sylvia. Heavens, what clothes do you wear? If I was in this case. Oh shit! And the fresh t-shirt I had hurriedly grabbed from the mysterious suitcase after getting up was bright pink, proudly presenting the text, I love Mama. I heart Mama. Mom, please forgive me. I put it silently, feeling deep guilt. Oh, I'm sorry about that. Never mind. Totally quickly changed the subject. Did you sleep well today? Not at all, and that was your fault. I quickly looked around. Unfortunately, we were alone, so no one could fantasize about how I might have disturbed Sylvia's sleep. Holy shit, bro. Why would that be? I was having a nightmare. What kind of nightmare? I dreamt you were a dog, and the dog was my husband. It was the worst dream ever. That sounds crazy, like from an anime or something. Anyway, see you later. Sylvia walked into the cafeteria and I hurried to the class, shaking my head. I went to the classroom just in time. Hello everybody, this morning I will briefly explain quantum loop theory. The students started to mumble. It looked like the content of this morning's session would again be largely incomprehensible for all except Patty. But we were very much mistaken. This time it wasn't largely incomprehensible, it was completely incomprehensible. And that was not due to my empty stomach. Only Patty eagerly took notes and even asked a few questions. At some point this morning was over. Finally lunch. What a pity, just now it was so exciting. Exciting? Yes, of course, I would love to know how to connect quantum loop theory with general relativity. So Young gave me some hints there, and with that I might be able to understand how this machine distorts space. And with dearest trouble pushing Patty to the cafeteria. We all met again at lunch. Leslie happily told them that they had only watched videos in class today. What kind of videos? Cosmos by Carl Sagan. Oh wow. Carl Sagan? Isn't it the TV guy with the bad taste in fashion? What do you mean? Well, he always wears a funny brown jacket, doesn't he? So what? That's not the point. For me, as an artist, aesthetics are important. So if one nicely packages a complete idiot, then you would like him. For someone who complains about the sarcasm of others, your own sarcasm is amazingly developed. Not that it ever comes close to mine, of course. It's great to have someone next to you who immediately makes you seem a lot nicer without having to put any effort into it. Good for you. For me, sitting next to you makes every day a Monday. Hey, you two, didn't you agree to be peaceful? Grumble. Well, whatever, if it makes you happy. Anyway, Cosmos is amazing. You should definitely have a look, Sylvia. I think it's also special in terms of design and music. Exactly, the music was also made by a nobleman, Vangelis, exactly. Isn't his name Vangelis? Oops. If the series is repeated on TV, maybe... I think it will be repeated many times. In the future, we will surely have more knowledge about the Earth than even Carl Sagan can teach us today. How he inspires his audience for science, that would still fascinate us. Do you sometimes think about how the future will be, Azuki? Yes, of course, but obviously I have an advantage. My parents... As he suddenly bit her lips and stopped mid-sentence. I don't know if Mr. Young... Anyway, yes, I often imagine the future. In the future you'll fly to the stars, right? Well, I could actually do that today if my parents would let me. Thinking about the future is more like how we'll be here on Earth in 10, 20, 50 years. In 10 years will not be much better than today, I suppose. I'm a bit pessimistic. I think there'll be some changes. And what would those be? I thought about it. Couldn't really reveal myself here. One could speculate about the future and no one here knew that the future would really look like. Well, I think the internet will be really cool, and we'll all have mobile phones. Just 10 years? Come on, that's still science fiction. I think Andrew's right, these technologies will be really coming soon. And we'll all be driving electric cars soon too, and maglevs. I smiled. Patty was definitely too optimistic there. And we'll have quantum computers. And fusion reactors. And Mars colonies. You guys are fantasists. In the end, the future will bring none of that, but only some catastrophes. I don't spoil our fun. Just be realistic. There could be large wars or terrorist attacks or epidemics. Come on, large war. Where should that happen now? The Cold War is over. Sylvia, even the Russians are our friends now. You must have missed that somehow. And epidemics. We have antibiotics and vaccines. Our medical research is making giant strides. Epidemics are something from the Middle Ages. Did you forget about COVID-19? Sylvia sighed. We're talking about the present, but the future. No one knows what it will bring. At thought about it. Sylvia was partly right. There were the terrorist attacks on September 11. No one had seen them coming. Is that 9/11? It might be 9/11. Oops, I accidentally zoomed out again. On the other hand, she had too much imagination. There hadn't been a major war since, and it didn't look like there was any coming, did it? Or did it? No, at least not in Europe. Epidemics? No, that was really something from the past. Besides, you forgot about the environment. Our forests will be destroyed by acid rain in 10 years, and the greenhouse effect may flood half the continent. Ah, come on, I'm sure physicists can think of something. Filters and catalytic converters and solar cells and wind power and electric cars and fusion reactors and stuff. More and more technology to solve problems, and that's supposed to work. You'll see. I thought about it. The forest was as green as ever, slowly recovering from the acid rain. All those filters and catalytic converters must have helped. But could the greenhouse effect be combated by solar cells and wind turbines? I was pessimistic. But maybe technology just needed a little longer, and later people would smile about our fears, just as we did about the fear that all forests would die. And then there's artificial intelligence. What do you mean? Well, if we're talking about 20 or 50 years, computers will eventually become as intelligent as we are. Okay, that doesn't bother me as much as an artist. You mathematicians won't have a job then, but art will always remain the domain of mankind. I'm not so sure about that. Someday, even a computer may be able to paint pictures that could be mistaken for the works of a human being. Wow, she is so right. She is so right. Some people are so stupid that they just believe everything they see on the internet these days. That's completely out of the question. My paintings will remain unmatched. Mary looked skeptical. I'm afraid of something else. I was afraid of the singularity someday. What do you mean? If computers are smarter than humans, they'll always find ways to make themselves smarter. The step from as intelligent as a human to incredibly much more intelligence can then happen very quickly. And after that, the computer will decide how to proceed and no one will be able to stop it. Maybe it won't even need us humans anymore. Then I'll just pull the plug on the computer and it won't be able to do anything. Mary, you really are still naive to believe such horror stories. I don't know, I hope you're right. Mary sounded very serious. We fell silent for a moment. Then Alski broke the silence. Don't worry, we'll make sure that won't happen. As soon as computers become too intelligent, the EOU will. Oops, I mean. Anyway, I hope that in the future there will finally be people with pink hair on Earth. I hope that in the future there will finally be people with pink hair on Earth. That's funny. That's just annoying that everyone thinks I dyed it. You haven't? No, it's my natural colour. My parents thought it was pretty. It's actually quite common with us. Okay, Azuki, from which sci-fi novel did you get that now? We laughed, and then it was time for the afternoon class. I was just about to leave when Sylvia held me back. Just in case you feel like joining, I'll be going into the lake today to paint. And I'll be happy, well, I wouldn't find it totally annoying if you maybe could join me. Just come to my studio in 15 minutes. And before I could answer anything, Sylvia just disappeared. Wondered if I should accept her invitation, but I actually had to go to my class. They're both bad. Fine, I'll go see Sylvia. This doesn't look like her studio. There you are. Sylvia greeted me happily, and I'd never seen her like that before. Let's go. We left to Castle Park, and then turned onto a path that led through fields and flowering meadows. Finally, we reached the lake. So, is this the place you wanted to show me? Not yet, we have to go a little further along to the shore, to my favourite cove. Finally, Sylvia stopped. Here we are. So many flowers, a really beautiful place. Yes, you're right, I've been busy painting here. Can I see what you have painted? It's one watercolour that came out quite well, and I still have it with me. Sylvia showed me a painting. Beautiful, much more cheerful. You think so? Well, maybe you're right. And what do you want to paint today? Maybe you? Me? Well, you're not handsome enough for a portrait, of course. I frowned involuntarily. And with a furrowed brow, even less. But you may sit here on the shore, and I'll paint the whole view, with the lake and the mountains in the background. How long will I have to sit still? Don't worry, I'll just do a sketch, it'll be quick. I resigned myself to my fate and sat down on the shore while Sylvia worked on the sketch. She worked highly concentrated. There was no conversation possible, and so I let my gaze wander, and my thoughts as well. I thought about Sylvia, this difficult but nevertheless so fascinating young woman. What did I feel for her? And what was I allowed to feel for her? After all, she was so much younger than me. No, not really. Even before, he was only 22. think. And then he went back in time. No, maybe he was, I don't know, 36 or I don't know, but I feel like he was only 22. Like he was like 20 in the year 2000, and then in 2002 he went back in time. That means he would have been 22. But then when he goes back in time, he's at high school age. So like I'm just confused about how the timelines all align here. And then I thought of her enchanting smile, which she showed me more and more often, and more I found myself imagining what it would be like if we... They're done. Sylvia snapped me out of my thoughts, then she looked inquiringly onto my face. What are you thinking about just now? About nothing. Men, all the same, I can see it in your eyes. I'm innocent! As if I've got to leave it, prove it to me. How am I supposed to do that? Ha, see, I'm right. The presumption of innocence apply. Not with me. And boys like you only have one thing on their mind. I'm not a boy anymore, Sylvia. I'm a man. Oh, well, I see. You're really quite grown up compared to all the children here. It's because I'm older. Since I'm from the future, the sentence was on the tip of my tongue, but I quickly swallowed it. Instead, I changed the subject, and we looked at the beautiful flowers together while talking about her paintings and drawings, about the science camp and our friends. But as Azuki had said, time can sometimes pass very quickly, and so it did on this beautiful afternoon. We have to go, otherwise we'll miss dinner. Yes, and also the hike. More hiking? Can you manage that? Sure, when I'm together with you I can. What do you mean? Oh, just because. On the way back I noticed that I had never seen Sylvia so cheerful. That alone had been worth skipping the afternoon class. At dinner we all met again. Okay. Now, oh, this is dinner, so yeah, after dinner I'll end the video. So, did you ditch me on purpose today, Ender? Uh-oh, Paddy didn't look too happy. And no, it's just, Ender knows what is really important to him. And what's really important to him? Well, more important than fiddling around with some weird devices. Didn't know what to say, and during the rest of dinner I had the feeling that lightning was shooting out of Paddy's eyes again and again. We then talked about this upcoming hike and astronomical observation. After dinner we started right away. Everyone met in front of the castle for the upcoming hike. It's going to be great. Well, I don't know, my father's organising it, so it can't really be great. Come on, Sylvia, don't be so negative, it'll be fun. Believe me, when my father does something like this, there's bound to be some problem. I end up standing in the cold for hours for nothing. Been there, don't need it again. But isn't it up to us how the ending will be? What do you mean? Oh, we're all here together, we're young, it's on vacations, the weather is great, soon there'll be sunset, and then a starry night awaits us. If we want to, we can have a lot of fun together, and nobody, especially not your father, can stop us. Hey, yo! I didn't think of it that way, maybe you're right. I just smiled. Baron Tensberg suddenly spoke up, and we all looked at him. The other teachers were standing next to him. Hello everyone, so tonight's our observation night. We're going to go ahead now and set up the instruments. Miss Kind will help me with that. In the meantime, Mr. Meitner and Mr. Young will take you on a hike. I just got a comment on a YouTube video just now. It is on... it's on Pokemon's Universe. The final episode. If you don't have another game lined up after this one, I recommend Pokemon Reminiscentia. I want to play through myself. I've watched a couple's lives on it though. I'll respond to this comment. Okay, I will check it out. Okay, yes I will. Did Mr. Meitner want to wear his lab coat in the hike too? Crazy! I hope so, Mr. Or was the graphic designer of this game just too lazy to design the hiking outfit for him? Who knows? The sun doesn't set until 9 PM, daylight saving time today. The hike will only take about an hour, so you will arrive at the observation site before sunset. The observation will start as soon as it is dark enough to see at least Venus and Jupiter. It will be completely dark today around 22:30. After that, our astronomy class will take pictures. While others may go back to the castle. More about that later. I wish you a great hike. See you soon. That's Meitner cleared his throat. So we're now starting, and you will all follow me and Mr. Young. We have a map and we'll go ahead. I don't want anyone to get lost or do anything stupid. Then we set off straight into the forest. There we go. That's where I'm going to end the video. Now, that is the end. Oh, and also, let me just quickly, what's this guy's name? Ellie the 2 or Ellie Shoulders. Seems fun. Alright, that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed this part 2 where some sus stuff went down. But that's it. I'll see you guys on the next one. Goodbye.